Welcome to Hustle System. My name is Mikhail, and I help you master your mindset, build a better business, and live your life on your terms. In this video, we're going to talk about how to achieve a level of personal freedom to where you no longer feel tied down, obligated, or have to answer to pretty much anybody. And that is really a position that most people want to have in their life, but I think are too scared to achieve. Because let me ask you, are you a people pleaser? Let me ask you again, are you a people pleaser? Or are you doing whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it without having to apologize to anyone or make any sort of justification? See, the reality of reality is that society is rigged. It's rigged so that you keep working in your little 9-to-5 job, you contribute to your little 401k, you retire, you have some kids, and then you die, right? And it's built like a little treadmill. It's not built for you to achieve your life dream and to achieve your passion. It's your job to do that. It's not society's job. It's society's job. Society's actually doing a really good job of what it's supposed to do, which is to kind of create a semi-safe, comfortable environment. If you look around, medicine's better than it's ever been. Technology's better than it's ever been. We've got a really, really great, amazing life. So that's what society's supposed to do. But when it comes to living your passion, living your purpose, that's your job. And your personal freedom is entirely in your hands. And so in this video, I'm going to tell you kind of a story about a moment where it was a moment of losing faith and also a moment of massive empowerment. So I've kind of spent my whole life building skills, right? I've always thought, okay, well, if I just help others and bring value, then it will come back around. And that does work. And it works actually really, really well up to a certain point. But there has to be a point where you ask yourself, am I actually getting what I want out of this limited amount of time that I have? And if I'm not, am I making up excuses in order to keep myself in that paradigm because it's too uncomfortable, it's too scary to break out of it? Because whatever you resist will persist. Again, what you resist will persist. That means if you are afraid of quitting your 9-to-5, that 9-to-5 will stick with you because you're resisting. If you're afraid of pursuing that dream that you've had, then you're always going to find yourself having that dream slip out of your hands. But if you tell yourself that this is your time, this time, right here, right now, is your time. It's not anybody else's time. It's not my time. It's not your parents' time. It's not your teacher's time. It's not your boss's time. It's your time. Own it. Own your time. Because until the moment you do, your life isn't really yours, is it? Somebody owns you. Do your student loans own you? Are you crippled by student debt? You might be. That means somebody owns your time. Pretty intense to think about, isn't it? I think we're brought up with this notion that all humans are free. And yet, what does freedom mean? Freedom means doing with your life what you want to do. So if you are not doing with your life what you want to do, you're by definition not free. You're actually in a form of subordinate slavery, if you were to really break that down and really dial into it. And I find that to be so enraging in so many ways. But I think to go and lash out at, quote, society is actually the wrong angle. Like, society's done a good job. Really, look around. You know, look at all the things that we're given without having to build it ourselves. I think it's amazing. The roads kind of work. You know, you have cars, electricity, running water. I mean, that's all a construct of the societal system, the capitalistic system. And that's all great. I think we should be showing gratitude for that. But I think where people make the mistake, and you might have made this mistake because I've made this mistake, is we expect that same system that gives us all this safety to also give us a framework for freedom and for personal achievement. And the truth is, it doesn't. And the reason it doesn't is because it's not supposed to, right? It's our job here together to figure out what is that purpose? What is that passion? What is that moment where you unplug and you're truly free? And you start doing the things that you're meant to do, that you want to do, that you are put here to accomplish. See, you watching, you have a purpose. And until you start to own your time and say, this is mine, I am doing with my time exactly what I want to. Period. And until you shut down that little voice in the back of your mind that says, but I have bills to pay, but what will people think of me? But what if I fail? Until you shut that little voice down, you are a slave to your own subconscious mind. How crazy is that? So now not only do you have all these other things vying for your attention, for your time, for your resources, now you internally yourself are self-sabotaging. And that's why when we do the work here that we're doing, we focus on mastering your mindset, building a better business, and helping you live your life on your terms. Because that's what it's all about. There was a moment for me when I had it. It hit me like a bolt of lightning. And it struck me and it said, this is it. You're gonna die. This is it. That's it. You're gonna die. And man, that shook me to the core. I cried because it was so powerful. And so what I've done is dedicated the rest of my life to helping you, the viewer, dial into your purpose. That's why I'm here. Because there was something that happened that unplugged me so far away from any of this utter nonsense that it's like I can see the patterns. I can see through thoughts. And that is the gift that I want to give to you, is the gift of freedom. Because the gift of freedom is the gift of life. And we talked about your parents earlier. Well, did your parents have you so that you could be a slave to your student loan debt and to whatever other forms of debt that you have? Is that why they created you? Or is there some sort of bigger purpose here? Is there some sort of impact that you're meant to have? You watching this right now, you've got a point of impact, and it's inside of you. It's right here. It's primal. It's carnal. It drives every single breath you take. Every heartbeat, every movement is driven by this little purpose. And yet you go into work and you stuff it down. You wake up, you shut it down. It tries to come up and you say, no, tomorrow maybe we'll do it. Why? I'm going to wrap this video with this concept. Your time and your freedom will always be far, far, far more important than any money you ever make. Because I want you to do an exercise with me right now. I want you to look back at your entire life. It doesn't matter how old you are right now. I want you to look back at your entire life. And I want you to comment this down below this video. What is your best memory? Just pick one. What is the best, most brightest, most happy, most joyful memory that you have so far from your entire life? Comment that down below so that other people can share in that joy, in that happiness, in that fulfillment with you. Then ask yourself, how much did that moment really have to do with money? Probably going to realize it had very little to do with money. And what I want you to do is ask yourself a second question. That's going to be, how can you manifest more of those moments? How can you actually bring more of those moments into your current reality? How can you systematize happiness for yourself? So that's something to think about. Own your time. Create your own happiness and live your life on your terms. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe down below. And if you have subscribed but you haven't clicked the notification bell, please do that so you can get notified when I upload more awesome videos for you. Like the video, comment down below. This has been Mikhail with Hustle System, where I am excited to help you master your mindset, build a better business, start to live your life on your terms. See you in the next one.